Today, I'm going to show you guys how to motorize this VIBE Uptown 3 different ways. Actually, 4 different ways. Let's get started. All right, so on this kayak, I've got the K-1 motor on 3 different adapters. We have the Versa pod adapter right there, and that replaces your Versa pedal drive from VIBE. It's connected to a 378 battery up here that can slide under your seat or sit on the deck. Then I've got it on the rudder here, okay, and that is our universal rudder that goes onto the existing rudder system from VIBE, and that's just clicking in there with that 10mm pin, and steering is done with your hand steering that again ships with the Uptown. Last but not least, I do have a motor here on the skeg, and that's a little more permanent obviously for shallow water, not great, but it is another option to motorize it. Now, in the front, instead of this Versa adapter, we could also use the Mirage style fin drive adapter that clips into the pod adapter that comes with your VIBE. So depending on which VIBE pod you've got, you have a choice of either doing the Versa drive adapter or that Mirage style fin drive adapters. So those are the 4 different ways you can motorize this kayak in a few seconds. And I'm gonna do some of the installations and show you guys how easy that is. If you have the pod for the impulse drive from VIBE, one of the easiest ways to motorize the kayak is just taking off that impulse drive and replacing it with our impulse drive adapter. I'm going to take that off and show you guys how easy it is to put that on there. Now we have our bracket off, so we're going to get our nuts and bolts that ship with our impulse drive adapter. We've got these square nuts and these 1/4 inch bolts that you can adjust. Right now you can line these up to fall over your bolts. And you can adjust how far back or forward you want the motor to be. Typically, you'll get slightly better steering if the motor is a little further back. And that's it. It's that simple. I've got the motor running to PP378 here. That's going to give you about 4 to 5 hours of water time, an hour and a bit max speed, up to about 10 to 11 hours on trolling. And that's it. It's that simple. And then we continue steering our kayak with the rudder. Second, you can replace your factory rudder with our Universal Versa Rudder. In this case, we have it with the V-arm steering. You have the option of using the lines that come with your kayak for steering and connect to our V-arm steering, or you can get the pole steering and use a telescopic pole from your seating position to steer the motor. Either works. We're going to do the V-arm steering right now. This is very simple, guys. You remove your existing rudder. This is a 10mm opening, so you do get the 10mm pin option. And we're going to put our rudder right there. We have that locking pin in there that locks it into place. And I'm just going to grab an Allen key and put the lines onto my V-arm steering. That's it, guys. It's really that simple. And we have our line here, our pull-up line. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my rudder. So if I do want to pull the rudder out of the water, I'm doing that, and I'm locking that down near where I sit. When I'm ready to release, I'm releasing that. This rudder does feature a kick-up, does have a kick-up feature, and also features sort of a reverse lock, so you can go in reverse and the motor locks. So I'm going to connect this to my PP768 battery here. And that's about it, guys. I'm ready to get on the water with that. So great steering, a great option to have the motor back on the rudder. Third option we have on this paddleboard, like pretty much any other paddleboard out there, is to use one of our fin box adapters to motorize the fin box on the paddleboard. So we're going to go ahead and take off the fin here. This is the US fin box adapter on this particular kayak. A lot of the inflatables do have the slide and lock, which is slightly different than this, so it slides in and locks in. You can check the links below, you'll see all of these adapters. There are 3 different main fin boxes on the market right now. This is the US fin box where you slide the front bolts in. All right, so we're just gonna adjust our bolt down there and we're screwed in and make sure you're nice and secure. The best thing to do with the cord is run it out the back to the top of your kayak and zip tie it, or just bungee it, or a rubber band or whatever. Keep it secure on top of your paddleboard and run it to your battery, and you're off. And you got 12 speeds forward with this, 3 reverse and reverse. There is no steering with this option, obviously. So you're going to be steering either with your rudder, or if you're using it as a paddleboard, with your paddle. All right, so that's 4 different ways of motorizing this VIBE Uptown very quickly and easily with minimal modification. Now we've got another 24 different kinds of adapters on our website to motorize pretty much any small watercraft on the water. In addition to that, you're going to want to choose which battery you want to run your motor with. We do have the PP378, which has 378 watt hours of power, and the 768, which has 768 watt hours of power. You're going to run at full speed for about 1 hour and 10 minutes on the smaller battery, and but 2.5 hours on the larger battery. Larger battery also gives you a 13 speed. So 12 speeds forward, 13 speeds forward on this one, and 3 speeds in reverse for both batteries. From there, it's plug and play, guys. You saw how the adapters go on. It gets plugged into your battery. You do have a wireless Bluetooth remote that gives you your speeds forward and reverse, and a stop button, and your kill switch for safety and to turn your system on. That's it. Thanks for watching, and see you guys on the water.